Honey Badger here at Camp Colloqua. I am here today to show you how to make a galaxy in a jar. Aren't those neat? If you received our Camp in a Box, then this might be the craft project that was sent to you. So this is the video that'll show you how to make it. If you didn't receive a Camp in a Box, no worries. We're gonna go over all the supplies that you need to make one at home with stuff that you probably already have. So let's get started. First, let's go over the supplies that you need. The first thing is a jar. If you got our Camp in a Box kit, you have a 4-ounce jar. If you're doing this project at home with supplies that you have, any size jar will work. You want to make sure though that your jar has a lid. The next thing are cotton balls. For a 4-ounce jar, you need roughly 25 or one big handful. If you have a bigger jar, you're going to need more cotton balls. You're also going to need 2 different colors of paint. I'm using black and blue, but any 2 colors you want that will look like a galaxy are great. You're going to need 2 cups that are okay to get some paint in them. We're going to be watering down our paint, so you'll need a cup to mix that in. So make sure you check with an adult at home to know what cup is okay. The paints we sent you in the Camp in a Box are water-based, so they will clean off any cup that you're using, but you want to make sure to double check first. And the last thing is some glitter. So the first thing we need to do is water down our paint. So I put all of my blue paint into 1 cup and added water to about here. You just need enough water to make it runny, and then you're just going to stir it up. I'm just using a little wooden spoon that I found here in the craft house, but you can use whatever you have. If you have a paintbrush, you can use that, or you can use a stick or a regular spoon. Since our paints are water soluble, they will clean off anything. So we've got a nice kind of liquidy consistency. And then I did the same with my black paint, so I'm gonna stir that one up now. You just want to make sure that your paint and water are mixed together really well. Now, the next thing we're going to do is take our jars and we're going to open up the lid and we're going to put our first layer down. It's going to be a layer of cotton balls. So what you're going to do is take a cotton ball and you want to kind of fluff it out a little bit. You don't need to break it into pieces, but if they do break, that's okay. But you want to fluff them out a little bit and put them into the jar. You want to fill it roughly 1/3 or a little over 1/3 of the way with cotton balls. And you want to have your cotton balls packed in there decently. You don't need to cram them in, but you do want to make sure that they are filling that bottom third of your jar. So that looks about good. Now I'm going to take one of my paint colors. I'm going to start with blue, and I'm going to pour it onto my cotton balls. You want to pour enough that the cotton is fully saturated, but not so much that you pour too much and it doesn't have anywhere to go. You want to make sure all of the liquid gets soaked up by the cotton balls. So you can pour and kind of give it a few seconds to soak around. You can tilt your jar to make sure you're getting all of the different parts. And if a little bit of white is left, that's okay, because it's all part of the galaxy. You can also shift your cotton balls a little bit if you're finding that the bottom is having a hard time getting saturated. All right. The next thing you're going to do is take your glitter and you're going to pour a little bit of the glitter around, mostly getting around the sides. So I'm going to sprinkle my glitter and kind of turn my jar as I do it, so I'm getting all around, and shake it a little bit, make sure it gets all over. So there is where our jar is at so far. Then we're going to repeat those steps. So we're going to fluff out some more cotton balls and pack them in. And now you want to be roughly 2/3 of the way full, making sure that you've got a good amount of cotton balls in there. And kind of packing it down to make sure that they're tight in there. All right, so now we're gonna take our second paint color, so mine is black. I'm gonna give it a little bit more of a stir. It looks like it's settled a little bit. And now I'm going to repeat the same thing that I did with the blue paint. I'm gonna pour it onto this cotton, making sure that it saturates. And this part, you wanna be careful that you're only pouring enough to saturate your top layer of cotton here, the white stuff, and not going down to mix in with the blue. A little bit of mixing is okay, but we don't wanna drench it. All right, and just like before, if it's got a little bit of white in there, that is okay, because it's like clouds in the different colors of the galaxy. And now we're gonna do our glitter again. So pouring it and turning as I pour, making sure to get all around all the different sides. And now I'm gonna do one last layer of cotton, because you have just a little bit of jar left. So I'm gonna do one more layer of cotton. And how much cotton you put on each layer, or how many different layers, if you'd rather do more than 3, all of that is up to you. You can personalize it however you want. But you wanna make sure that your finished product does fill your jar all the way to the top. Even if it's a layer that's gonna kind of be blocked by some of the lid, you still wanna make sure it is very full. So you can see that my cotton this time is coming out of the top, but I know that when I pour in my paint, it's gonna press it down some. So I'm gonna go back to my blue so that I get different layers and pour it onto my cotton. All right, make sure I'm getting the sides here. And then do one last layer of glitter. Kind of shake it around. You wanna make sure with glitter, because it'll get everywhere, that you're doing it on top of a tray or a plate or something to catch any extra glitter, especially when you get to this last stage, that some of it might shake off of the top as you're kind of turning it around. And you wanna make sure it's getting on a tray or somewhere that is easy to clean up. All right, and now that my jar is all the way full, I'm just gonna put the lid on top. And that is our galaxy in a jar. If you want, you can hot glue your lid on, but as long as you seal it up pretty tight, it should be good. Let it sit for about a day, and you'll see that this paint will settle and fully absorb into all of your cotton, and it'll maybe change colors a little bit, but it'll look great. I hope you had fun.